Hello, my friends. How are you? I'm sorry. I'm in a weird mood today. I'm kind of old and grumpy, but kind of thoroughly amused. I don't know what I did. I was just over here taking a nap. You know, being all cute and cuddly, taking a little nap all in my bed. You know, just being all around adorable, and I woke up to someone very, very angry at me, guys. Once again, somebody has threatened to beat me up in the comment section over the internet after they went through about 20 videos expressing how much they didn't like me. I'm sorry you're gonna beat me up, but thank you for the 20 more views. I'm sure you're still watching. That was so bizarre. It's so strange when that happens. It's like you're over here just minding your business, doing nothing, and somebody's just enraged on the internet, and you're like, you're not you're just oblivious to it, right? And it was just bizarre. It was super strange. I'm like, how is it that I can piss a person off this much while taking a nap? And hey, you know what? It's a gift. It's a curse. It is whatever it is. But my God, this poor fella, I hope he has a better day. I did what I do, my friends, and I pushed the hide user button because I'm not interested in listening to adult tantrums. It's not my thing. It's not what I go looking for on the internet. So I'm sure he's still angrily typing into the abyss right now. But I just had to share that because I just woke up. I was just taking a nap, and I don't understand the world sometimes. Like, how did I manage to make this guy so angry while taking a nap? I don't fucking know. I don't know. But hello, everybody. How are you today? We got a lot to talk about today, and I don't know how to explain it. It has to do a lot with maybe my growth as a person and as a trucker and what I'm actually trying to accomplish in the world, and we'll talk about it. I do have some people to say thank you to, though. For my last video, I got a few super thanks on that one. Isn't the world crazy? Like, yeah, when I'm asleep, I can cause a guy to go into an absolute rage on the internet. But sometimes also I wake up and you guys send me money. Though my life is strange, is what I'm trying to tell you. I live a very odd life. I had a few super thanks on the last video. And I always want to make sure I take a minute to thank those people that are so supportive of the channel. So we've got MB8987 who sent $2 on the last video. Thank you very much, MB. And then we got Krista who sent me $5 and left a very funny comment to go with it. It was where I was on... it's the video where I was making fun of the Gen X guy that told me he's running around getting in fights in truck stops, and when he's not fighting people at truck stops, he's stealing up all the millennial women. Yeah, that guy. I was making fun of that goofy comment, and Krista thought it was funny. I assume Krista's a girl, because you know what? I don't think it matters. It's 2024. She had mentioned that she hasn't really had a whole lot of fun dating Gen X men herself, but she sent me $5 for making her laugh. So sometimes that's all it takes, fellas. Make the ladies laugh, all right? It's good life advice. Thank you, Krista. I appreciate you so much. And Misfit44, who sent $25. $25, good Lord. I don't make that in a day around here. I'm a broke-ass Swift driver. Thank you so much, Misfit44, who he gave that to me for the Fuel Island party that we're going to throw, apparently. So, no Fuel Island fist fights. We're having a whole fucking cookout over there if we keep doing shit like this. So, thank you, Misfit, for that. I appreciate you guys so much. And just to always like to take a minute to tell you guys, even though I'm a huge raging asshole sometimes, and sometimes some of you get on my nerves. As a matter of fact, I jumped the gun with blocking someone in the live stream yesterday, and I'm gonna go find him, Charles, and I'm going to unblock you. Sometimes the things are coming at me so fast that I didn't realize who was saying what, and you were just messing with me, and I thought you were being a dick, and I'll unblock you as soon as I go find your name in the list. Sorry. But anyways, what was I trying to say? You know, even with all my flaws, I thank you guys so much for your support to the channel and just realizing that I'm a human. Except that one guy that threatened to kick my ass earlier while I was taking a nap. And that's the best damn time to do it. If you're gonna kick my ass, you better catch me while I'm sleeping, son. Hello, everyone. How are you? All right, there's something we're gonna talk about today. So let me kind of try to set this up. I have I've never been the kind of truck driver to reject loads when a company sends me a load. And as I've thought about this, honestly, through all my years of trucking and all the, what am I trying to say? The lease purchases that I've tried and went broke, honestly, and failed some of them, I started thinking there must be a reason for that. And that reason could be that I'm just not very bright. That's a possibility, right? But I refuse to believe that. You guys might believe that, but I'm not sure that I do. And I realized something yesterday. Not yesterday, over the last week. Well, I probably realized this for a while. But I don't always look out for my best interest when it comes to doing trucking. And I should, right? I obviously should. I've always worried that, oh, I hope the company likes me and they think I'm a team player and all these things. And I've started to realize something I probably should have realized a long time ago and actually taken action on a long time ago, is when it comes to trucking or probably any kind of business in general, you have to be selfish. You know, and I know that sounds bad, but the only time, like, there's times not to be selfish in your life, right? Your family, your friends, you know, when you're sending a YouTuber super thanks, that's a time not to be selfish. But anyways, but when it comes to business, I'm starting to realize that that is the time to be selfish, because the companies out there don't give a damn about you, right? They're trying to, the load planners and the dispatchers, they have sort of a different objective than you do. And for them, their objective is to get that load covered, get it off their damn board so they can move on to the next thing. And that always doesn't line up with your best interest as a truck driver. I'm sure we all realize that. And one of the reasons that I stay away from being a company driver is so that I can make better decisions for myself, but then I always find myself feeling bad, and then I don't make those better decisions anyways. I basically, a lot of times, treat myself like a company driver when I should be putting my foot down and saying, this does not make sense for my business, and I need it to make sense for me and my business, or I don't want fucking anything to do with it. And that is a lot of the reason that I came to Swift also, was because I figured if they had loads that I didn't like, then I could reject those loads if they didn't make sense to me, and they should have something else that works, right? Now, I haven't actually been doing that. I've been taking a lot of loads since I've been here. It's almost 3 months now, that weren't necessarily beneficial to me and my business, but I was worried about, I don't know, that a dispatcher wouldn't like me, or that I might get in trouble, or any number of things. Now there's fucking weirdos standing outside my truck. They're literally looking up this direction while I talk into my camera. Go away. Go away, you weirdo creep stalkers. Quit looking at me. Okay, they're leaving now. I never have people stand that close to my truck when I'm, maybe they're the ones that just said they're gonna kick my ass. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Anyways, what am I trying to tell you? I have fucked myself over on a lot of occasions because I wasn't looking out for my best interest, right? I don't know if you guys have noticed the evolution with that, as like I'm trying to get better at that with the channel here itself, right? There used to be a time on YouTube, more so with my old channel than this one, but like maybe one person would get angry at a thing I said, and they'd go make a video and make it into a big deal, blow it completely out of proportion, be like, this guy truck said this crazy shit. And I would actually come back on the last channel after seeing those videos and be like, I'm sorry about the thing I said. It just, sometimes I'm an absolute monster, and I guess I'm just a terrible person, and I'm sorry. And I'm not a terrible person, but I am, unfortunately, sometimes me, and that kind of sucks every once in a while. And I started a long time ago taking that approach with this channel. Look, this is what I do. This is the content I make. It is up to the viewer to take it or leave it. I can't make everyone happy. I don't have the capacity to do that. And, well, no one fucking does, right? So a long time ago, I sort of adopted this philosophy on the channel that I'm not going to apologize for how I felt about something. I'm not going to, you know, there's a time I apologized because I think I was being a huge dick to, like, a lot of my my viewers that come back to every video. I think it was like in the comments or maybe in a video I got pissed off about something and then I realized, sorry guys, I'm just a moody old bastard sometimes. I did, you know, and that, I forget what it was, so it must not have been that big of a deal, but it was something that I genuinely like felt bad about and decided I was in the wrong. But for the most part, these videos are how the fuck I feel about what's going on in my own life. How weird is that? I feel, guys, here's what a spoiled brat I am. I feel like it's okay for me to speak on my own opinions for what's happening in my own life without asking a motherfucker what they think about it, right? So I started working on that philosophy here on the channel, and the reason was because I was trying to figure out, how do I apply this to my real life? There's no such thing as being a team player when you're a single truck owner-operator operation. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, you're just a piece of shit Swift driver. Fine. That's fine. You can have that, okay? But I also am a single truck operation that needs to look out for my fucking self, and I don't care how anyone feels about that, because that is the goddamn truth. That's just how it is. So the reason I'm telling you all this is because recently I rejected 2 loads from Swift. 2 loads from Swift. And you know what it did for me? You know what it did for me? It made my whole week a hell of a lot better than it had been if I just accepted any load that came to me. So I'm going to tell you about these 2 piece of shit loads that they sent me. And you guys can tell me, would you have taken them? What would you have done, right? So the first piece of shit load they sent me, I was going down to Macon, Georgia. It was Friday. It was last Friday, right? And I was going to get there about, I don't know, 2 p.m. or so to deliver the load that I had. From there, they had sent me a load that was picking up on the like the outskirts of Atlanta. So, I don't know, let's say Macon to Atlanta. Let's just round it off to 2 hours. I don't know for sure how long that drive is. But I drop in Macon at 2, and I get back up to Atlanta, or battle my way back into Atlanta at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to go pick up this piece of shit load. Now, this piece of shit load delivered the next morning at 7 a.m. in Charlotte, which was another 250 miles, let's say, and back through Atlanta, right? Now, the load planner sent me a load because they weren't able to get this load covered. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, these load planners are fucking dicks. Like I said earlier in the video, they just have a different objective than we do, right? They had sent me a message that said, hey, you'll probably be late on this, but don't worry, because the receiver will work you in on that. Nope, don't want it. Don't want it. Now here's what they're giving me. They're giving me this load, like I said, to go back into Atlanta in the afternoon. Hold on. Whew, it's getting hot in here. Good Lord. Good Lord, I had to turn up the air. God damn. Anyways, what am I trying to say? So then I got to get this load at like 4 or 5 in the evening in Atlanta on a Friday, and then I got to find a place to park. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, Josh, Swift has a terminal in Atlanta. You can park there. Probably so. After I fight my way through traffic for 2 fucking hours to get to that terminal and hope like hell it has parking spots. Now, I have been to the Swift Atlanta terminal, and it was huge. And there was probably plenty of parking, right? But I don't know for sure. What does the Swift terminal in Atlanta look like on a Friday afternoon? Could be packed full. Hard to say. Hard to say. And I didn't really want to go find out. And then they tell me, and then you'll be a work-in tomorrow morning. Now, I probably could have made that load on time. I probably could have made that load on time. But actually, I was a little bit offended that they sent it to me. I was. They're like, we think this is going to be late. You're going to be a work-in on this, what, 250-mile load? What the fuck is going on here? This was going from the same customer to the same customer, right? Same business. So, you know they got dedicated drivers for that. It's Swift. You know they do. Where'd your dedicated driver go, right? And if you're going to assume that the load's going to be late, then And then you're like, oh, you'll just be a working when you get there. Give that to a company driver. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you bothering me with this? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't even know if Swift pays detention to owner-operators. You know why I don't know? Because it's never came up. I've never been in a situation where I had to sit long enough to wait to get paid for detention. I do know they pay their company drivers detention, though. Why don't you sit one of them there? And not that I'm saying that company drivers are less than the owner operators. I'm just saying that they're more in a position to do what they're told than I am with this bullshit load, right? So the point is, I rejected the load. What I did was I got back on our Swift load board and I found a load picking up 1 mile away from where I was delivering, and that was turning around, and it was a drop and hook on both sides going back up to the Chicago area. I booked that on the load board, so that was about 800 miles compared to the 250 they were giving me. And I went back and I rejected that load they sent me, and they asked for a reason. It asked for a reason why you're rejecting the load, and I said I found a better load on the load board. Right? Found a better load on the load board. So that's what I did. And I took the load I found on the load board and I did that instead. No problem, no hassle, no nothing, right? But then yesterday, I'm driving down the road when I see a load come through. So I better check out what that load is, right? What is this load? From the Chicago area, well, it was kind of out on I-80 west of Chicago, maybe 40 miles or so. They wanted me to deadhead to Indianapolis, which is like 200 some miles. From there, they wanted me to pick up a load at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? In Indianapolis, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, to drive that up to Toledo, Ohio. Toledo, Ohio. It's like 3-4 hours away with a very strict appointment time, delivery appointment. Today, would have been today, at 8 p.m. All right, so I got to get into Indianapolis at about 4 p.m. because it said it had a very strict pickup time also. And then I've got to get out of there to do my 4-hour drive with exactly 4 hours to do it if nobody gets in my fucking way. While I'm leaving Indianapolis at about 5 p.m. at that point. The math just ain't checking out on this. And then I realized something that I maybe haven't been paying close enough attention to. Now, Swift does pay us deadhead miles, right? But they pay us 85 cents in deadhead miles. Now, of course, we know, being truckers, there is going to be deadhead miles, empty miles. For anybody that's maybe not a trucker, that just means empty. There's nothing in your fucking trailer, right? But it's 85 cents, and also we know that there is no fuel surcharge on empty miles. So, at very least, when you do empty miles here at Swift, you're losing up at least 70 cents every mile for those deadhead miles. 85 cents as opposed to at minimum $1.15 plus the fuel surcharge when you're running loaded. So they wanted me to run like 200 and some miles empty, in which on those miles I'd be losing at least 70 cents every mile to pick up a load that goes 200 some miles from there. Now, if they had me going 200 some miles to pick up a load that was going maybe 1,000 miles, maybe that makes a little bit more sense. So my friends, I got nervous. I said, my God, are they gonna make me reject 2 loads in a row? Because I don't want to be that guy either. I don't want to be the guy that like, oh, we can't give him a load because he's not gonna go fucking do it. And this was yesterday evening that I was looking at that load, and I sent back a rejection, and on the reason why, I said too many deadhead miles. Then I looked on our load board, there wasn't anything there. There wasn't anything there. But I woke up this morning at 6 a.m., thought I'd get up bright and early and get on that load board and start looking. Well, before I could get onto that load board and start looking, they had already sent me a load to go into, you know, the Chicago area, Romeoville or whatever, grab a load and take it down to Topeka, Kansas, which ended up being altogether a 600-mile run with only, what, 40 of those miles being deadhead miles. And that puts me, well, I'm trying to think. Then they gave me a load from there that I'm going to take down to Dallas, which puts me at about 2,800 miles for the week. Now, obviously, we always like to try to beat that 3,000, right? Beating 3,000 is always better, but 2,800 miles is a pretty solid fucking week. And I owe it all to me looking at these loads and going, these loads do not make sense for my business. I understand I'm not going to fight with the load planners. I'm not going to fight with the dispatchers. Like I said twice already in the video, their objective is different from mine. We're all working for the same company, but they've got a different goal. My goal is to run this truck as much as possible and make it as profitable as I possibly can. So, I rejected 2 of their bullshit loads. My week got way, way better because of it, and I've learned from now on, if a load doesn't make sense, if it's not beneficial to me in some way, then from now on, I'm not going to take the son of a bitch. That's just the way it's going to be. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that are watching this going, yeah, dude, I've been rejecting loads for a long fucking time. I get it, but I haven't been. Because I was always nervous that they were going to, you know, oh, then we're just not going to give you loads or whatever. Well, fine. If that's what happens, that's what happens too, right? Hell, we'll get a video out of it, right? Maybe next week, I'm like, Swift is just, they're not giving me loads anymore because they said I rejected too many. I doubt that's going to happen. But we get a video out of that too. They're starving me out, friends, because I rejected too many loads. But instead of just accepting that, okay, well, we're just going to have a shitty week because I'm helping cover loads that I shouldn't even be fucking bothering with, I decided I'm not going to take that path anymore, and we're just going to get out there and we're going to do the right thing for my business. We're going to be fucking selfish out here. We're going to say, I need what I need. I need what I need out of this, all right? And I don't care what anyone else needs out of this, because as far as Swift is concerned, I am a one-man operation, a single truck owner-operator running under Swift's numbers, right? That's what they think of me. That's how they know me. And that is how I'm going to run my goddamn business from now on. So, I don't want to get in a habit of being the guy that goes, oh, this isn't the perfect load, so I'm not taking it, right? Obviously, I don't want to be that guy, because pay period ends Wednesday. I want to be over 3,000 miles. Well, it looks like by end of Wednesday, I'll be sitting right at that 2,800 miles instead. So, hey, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than had I not stood up for myself on 2 occasions this week and said, I'm not taking these bullshit loads. I'm just not going to do it. And that is, my friends, going to be the philosophy from now on. That's it. That's what we're going to do. And I guess I just wanted to share that, because if there's anybody out there that's afraid to reject loads because, like, oh, what are they going to do to me and all that, actually, it's a good thing if, say, a company were to retaliate against you. Not for you. Not for you. But it's a good thing in general, because there's this whole push with the government to define what is an independent contractor and things like that. So I think these companies actually have to be really careful right now. If they're sitting you because they didn't like your attitude or something like that, then you're not an independent contractor at that point, right? I think that they're actually going to have to do the right thing for people here pretty soon. And that has nothing to do with Swift. Like I said earlier in the video, one of the reasons I considered Swift was, if I don't like a load, don't tell me they don't have 1,000 more, maybe not 1,000, but you get the point, that might suit me better. And that's just what I'm going to do from now on. If the load don't make sense, I'm not fucking taking it. I'm proud of myself. I improved my own week because I refused to take shit loads that they just needed someone to cover. And I should have known this a long time ago. I probably did know this somewhere deep down. They had probably sent both those loads out to like 10 people already that day that rejected them, and they're just looking for some asshole to bite and take that load. And it wasn't me this time. I wasn't that asshole this time. And fucking, I'm proud of myself for that. Anyways, that's the video. I got to get back on the road. I've been napping a little bit too much today, but that's okay. I got this under control. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.